Hey, good morning, guys. Today is Tuesday, March 9th, I believe. Oh my goodness, it's a beautiful day today. Gorgeous. We still have patches of snow. I don't know what the heck this stuff is. I mean, right now it's ice, but we've had a couple warm days around here and it should have melted completely by now, but it's not going anywhere. I don't know what the hell this shit is. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm starting week 5. I was supposed to start yesterday, um, but I had so much stuff to do. Oh my God. I had to drive my husband to his new job. He picked up something else, and my son, excuse my wild hair, I had to drive him to his job, and just a ton of stuff that I had to do yesterday for the family. Not complaining. I mean, it is what it is. It had to get done, so I just did not know how to fit in or when to fit in my workout. And by the time I did settle down to strap up, put on my shoes, tie up my shoes, and get going, I don't know. It was like, well, when I'm done, I pretty much am going to have to, get back in a car and pick up someone. And so I just was like, I'll get it in the next day. And so, yes, that's what we're doing today. I want to talk to you also while I'm walking and running. I don't know how many intervals I'm doing today. The app is on and you may hear it during the live, but I don't know how many minutes I'm running today, how many intervals. Week 4 ended with 4 intervals. A couple were 3-minute running intervals and a couple were 5-minute running intervals. And so I don't know what I'm going to be facing today, but we're going to take it easy and, just coast through, because I want to talk to you about something, start my run, but it's going to be at a comfortable pace because I want to get this out. So, hey, good morning, guys. Yes, I take a day off after running just to give my muscles, some time to recover. But I'm so behind. I mean, there were like a few weeks there where I was able to get out 1 day a week. I'm supposed to do like 3 days a week. And because we got hit by, blast after blast of snow, there were some weeks that I was able to get out once a week. And then there were some weeks I wasn't able to get out at all. Good morning to all. Welcome. So today is Wednesday. I believe it's March 10th. I'm on week 5, day 2 of the Couch to 5K program. Now, I'm supposed to probably be on week 6 or week 7. It's an 8-week program. And, but like I said, because of the weather, it has been impossible to get out here. Now, I started all of this because I wanted to do this challenge for the Pocket Project where I did like a mile a day. And I don't know, it just evolved into something different. Right now, it's just about being active and getting out here. Now, I don't know, yesterday the intervals were way different. I think I did like 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I have to check yesterday's post what the running intervals were, but they were significantly longer. I've been used to doing like 3 or 4 minutes. Now they're more than 5 minutes. And I'm going to coast through today as I did yesterday, because I'm going to be doing some talking again, but not about that person. I'm just like, I'm done. Okay, I'm done talking about it. I want to put it behind me, even though, trust me, she will be back, because she's manipulative, controlling. Pulling myself back now. We're not going to talk about her. But what I want to talk to you about is why I became more social on social media. A lot of it had to do with the pandemic. I mean, I was just like all the other models that were out there, going to job interviews, go-sees, auditions, and stuff. I even had a couple of shows that were lined up that I was supposed to walk in the month of March. It went from being postponed because at that time, if you remember, it's been over a year ago. It's been so long. I can't believe a year has gone by and we're still in the midst of this craziness. But if you remember, over a year ago, when this first hit, we didn't know a whole heck of a lot about it. We just felt like, it's something that they could get under control and we can go back out and life will be normal again. Well, it never got normal again. And so, yeah, at that time when the pandemic hit and we didn't know a whole heck of a lot about it, I found myself sitting in front of the TV, watching TV nonstop, mainly the news, hearing about all the infections, all the deaths, and it was getting to me a little bit. I mean, it would get to anybody, obviously. I'm on my first interval running. And so, yeah, it was just like I just needed something to do. And so, really, the only thing that was there to keep me active was social media. At first, it was watching YouTube videos, but then that got boring after a while. And then it went on to, hey, I'm exercising, and I'm also a brand ambassador for a clothing company at the time I was. And so let me focus on building more content around the things that I do, personally and professionally. Okay, and that's how it got started. It was all for me to have something to do, something to work on, okay, because I didn't want to be focused on COVID all day, every day. And so, yeah, I'm going to tell you this. Prior to COVID, I wasn't doing as much content creation as I was focused on the modeling part of things. And so a lot of the things I would post were pictures that were taken of me and photo shoots for my portfolio or job-related stuff, runway shows, etc., and or to promote events that I was participating in, walking in. So that was the extent of my content creation at that point. Thank you. Thanks for the love. That was the extent of my content creation at that point. And that wasn't really content creation. You know, it was pretty much other people's work. You have a photographer take a picture of you, then that's their work. Yeah, you're the subject, but that's contractually their work. Okay? And the posters and stuff to promote people's events, that's the event planner. That's someone else that the event planner hired to prepare those flyers and stuff, but that's someone else's work. That wasn't work that I created with my own hands. And so once I got into it and started taping shorts of my workout or my workout day and modeling and stuff like that, then it branched on to other things and caught the attention of small business owners who wanted to work with me. And I was thrilled about that because that was something that I got on my own through my own efforts. Doing the collabs, it opened up the door, not just for more opportunities, but more importantly, for more creativity. Because I love plyometrics and stuff like that, and showing people all the things that I could do with, my athleticism, with my creativity and stuff. Something that I was holding back and wasn't really revealing and sharing with anyone. And so, and as time went on, up until this current day, it's been fairly consistent. But I will say, right now, I'm running into a little bit of a snag because I'm running out of ideas, mainly because I've been focused on work off of social media. And I will be creating again. The other part is too, with this weather not being the greatest, it's really hard to get out here and do the things that I want to do. I have some ideas in mind, but this weather, it's got to warm up a little bit. I just love the warm weather. I may take off this coat. I'm going to see if I can tie it around my waist. But yeah, that's how I got into it. And I felt really proud. I still feel really proud of my work, myself, the effort that I put into the stuff that I've built. Anyone knows that a person, if you're a business owner, a creator, an artist of some kind, I feel as though you can relate to where I'm coming from with this. When you build something from scratch, okay, that you yourself created. Hold on for a second. I gotta fix this jacket. It's too hot to wear it. It's too warm. And I'm in a new running interval. But when you started something that you created through your own bare hands and you spent time on it, and you have a sense of pride, whether someone acknowledges you as great work or not, whether you reap any benefits from it being great work or not. The fact of the matter is that You came up with the ideas. There probably was some planning involved. Maybe not. Maybe it was something that was kind of spontaneous at the beginning and, and morphed into something, a more of an advanced plan over time. It developed and evolved. But the point is, you developed it, okay? It's your baby. You created it. You're the reproducer of that work, okay? And there's a lot of pride that comes with that, okay? And when you have people, and I'm not going to talk about that person, all right? When you have people that turn around and tear that down, okay, because of their dislike for you, or because of jealousies, petty jealousies and envies, that hurts a little bit. It's not so much about caring about what a person says and it not being true or not. It is the toxic energy behind it. Why would I'm always anyone's biggest cheerleader, and I'm not going to go out of my way to tear up something or tear down something that someone built. That's not what I do. Now, if I want to talk about an experience, and I've had good and bad experiences in several different industries, mind you, not just the fashion industry. For years, I worked in the farm industry, and here and there, I may do work for the farm industry as a contractor. But I've had good experiences in the farm industry and bad experiences in the farm industry. And I can talk about them all, lessons in each. But if I talk about them, it doesn't mean that they're going to fall apart. It's the same in every industry. And when I talk about those experiences, it's not to tear anyone down. It's cathartic to talk about your experiences. It's actually pretty healing, I believe. It is to me anyway. All right. But I take a great sense of pride in the work that I have done in building my social media profile on Instagram. I'm working on TikTok, building that up. Facebook, I'm just focusing on this whole health initiative. It's an initiative that's been very, very important to me throughout my life, but especially within the last couple of years since my mother passed. And so, but I'm not just about fitness. I love makeup, I love fashion, I love jumping up and down, being silly, being crazy, having fun. And so, it's just trying to find the inspiration to put the stuff out there. Hey, good morning. I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. I'm trying to not be too much in the sun. But today is Monday. I believe today is the, hello, welcome Nicole. I believe today is the 15th or the 16th of March. Can't believe we're already in the middle of March. And I'm on week 6 of, good morning, Georgia Brown. I'm on the, hello, Tasha. I'm on the 6th week of the Couch to 5K program. And It's week 6, day 1. So this is an 8-week program. It's a beginner's program. I did it years ago. That basically gives you running and physical fit shape to do a 5K. Now, as I mentioned in my last live, I've done lots of races before. I have a long history of running since I basically a teenager and on and off throughout the years. I have done a 5K. I've done a 10K, thanks for all the love. And I've done a half marathon. And then 2016 was my last race. And I sort of injured myself before then. The last race was with my son. And then I went on hiatus on all physical activity, which is not good, but it happens. And so, yeah, we're here to current day. Anyone that follows me knows that I'm big on physical fitness and I love working out. And so this is just like a video journal of my journey of working out and staying fit. I call it beginners because I'm basically starting all over again. And I'm on week 6. It's an 8-week program. And so, sorry, that's a phone call. I have this week and 2 more weeks to go. It is cold out here. Oh my goodness, it's so cold. I should have brought out my mittens. But after a while, I will start warming up. Today, last time I was on live, my intervals were 8 minutes long and there was a 5-minute walk in between. And today is a 10-minute walk. 10-minute run, 2 times, 2 10-minute intervals. And so the running intervals are slowly increasing. And in between the intervals is a 5-minute walk. Thank you, Nicole. I certainly will. And so right now I'm doing the 5-minute warm up. Let me go. I'm trying not to get the sun glare in you guys' eyes. I know it's irritating. But yeah, 5 minutes warm up. And then there's the runs and then the walk in between. And then there's the cool down, which is about somewhere to 3 to 5 minutes. And so, yeah, that's where we're at with the workouts. Last time I spoke, I talked about my journey into physical fitness, into running and stuff. And I talked about pretty much how I got into it, how my stepfather, when him and my mother started dating before they got married. I'm on the first interval now, that he got me and my brother into running track and cross country. And then after a while, I just kind of like, at first I wasn't really into it, but after a while, it just became something that I gradually got into and I guess enjoyed it. Sorry about the sun glare, guys, but when it gets cold here where I live at, there's a lot of sun glare. I will try not to have bursts of sun in your face, because I know that has to be irritating. So I sort of got into my how, but I didn't really go into much as to why I continue running, even after all these years where I haven't stuck with my running 100%. Well, the biggest number one reason as to why I continue running, I would have to say, is family history. I touched on this briefly the last time I spoke. And yeah, the family history of obesity. When I was younger, my mother always talked about this aunt that she had that was 400 plus pounds. And when I heard that when I was younger, it scared me a little bit because I never really, understood what that meant to be that big until I got older and I got bigger pretty much out of the blue through kids and non-activity. I got up over 225 pounds. And then as women get older, some of us anyway, not everyone, it gets harder because hormones are acting out of whack. And it's just easier to hold on to fat more. Oh my goodness. I just realized I came out here without my mask. Oh, not a good thing. Certainly not a good thing. So we're going to have to be a little bit more creative in how we're moving today. And so when my mother relayed the story to me, she did everything that she could as far as diet and exercise to keep us, in a decent weight. And I thank her for that because, hey, given our current environment now, with different foods and availability, easy, available, quick foods to eat in the stores, and also fast food, it's really easy for anyone, including adults, to fall into that trap. So I get it. And so, yeah. And then I mentioned the last time, also my cousin who I grew up with, he was over 600 pounds. And at the time when he died, I was overweight. I hadn't been working out and taking care of myself. And so I had to do something about that. And so I did. I got physically fit. I got active. I started off with Tony Horton's 10-minute Beachbody workout, doing that 3 times a day. And then afterwards, I just kept on challenging myself. I think I got a little bit too overzealous at the beginning. Maybe. If I would have took my time with it, I would not have took the time off that I did. But I did. And so I can't change that. Just learn my lessons and keep moving forward. And so that's my biggest reason. Just having the family genetics there. And I noticed with my kids, I'm pretty much doing something similar that my mother did with us. Making sure they eat plenty of fruits and veggies, and also making sure that it's organic. I buy a lot of organic grass-fed meats and organic vegetables and fruits whenever possible. But we're making an effort to try to live as clean as possible. Oh my. It is windy. I don't know if you hear the wind. There's a lot of wind. So, yeah, that's a big deal to me, as I want to be around my kids for a long time, just to make sure that they're okay. Speaking of children, I'm going over a bit of a dilemma right now. My oldest child, let me breathe a little bit here. My oldest child, who has autism, she'll be 22 this year, and yeah, I have her in an assisted living home because she requires 24/7, and it's a little stressful. I've had her in a residential school from the ages of 14 to when she aged out. Well, let me start over. And actually, she'll be older than 22. She'll be 23 this year, because she's been out of high school for 2 years. Now, let me start from the beginning. So, gave birth to my first daughter. I was married to my first husband. She appeared to be healthy. She was hitting all of her milestones. The only thing that she was doing too early was walking. She was walking at 9 months. But back then, they didn't really have, I guess, medical care to really look into further things sooner. They talk about milestones, but they always talk about children hitting milestones on time or too late, but they never really highlight when it's too early. But I knew something was up when she wasn't talking, and she was like 2 years old. I mean, she did the initial stuff that they do at the beginning, mama, dad, but she only stopped there. She didn't do not much else. And this is where the sun glare gets really bad. So, when she was 2, I'm walking now. When she was 2, I basically went ahead and took her to early intervention, and they did a battery of tests and came up with this label of pervasive developmental disorder, PDD. They give that to all the kids. At least that's what they did back then. I don't know, it's been years now for me. But back then, in the early 2000s, they would give the PDD diagnosis instead of autism before the age of 5. And if the child, in my case, my daughter, wasn't progressing, by 5, by school age, then they would transition the label from PDD to autism. Again, I preface my statement again well, it's not a preface now because I already made a statement, but I'll repeat what I said earlier, that this was in the early 2000s. This was like around 2000 so it's been a lot of years now. She was 2 then. And so a lot probably has changed since that time. So I can't speak on what's happening today. I can only speak on what I dealt with at that time. I have to say that. I'm going to repeat that constantly, because when I repost this at some point, there'll be someone with a child with autism that's 2, and they'll yell out, "Oh, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true." Again, this was in the year 2000. My daughter was 2 at the time. I was 20 something. And that's what I dealt with. Okay. That was my experience. Now after, while during that time when we were looking at early intervention services, I took her to a developmental pediatrician. His name was Dr. Brill, who has since retired. He's been retired for a few years now. He was at University of Penn, and he looked at her as well, and he basically came to the same conclusion, that she had autism. And so still early intervention kept PDD until she turned 5 and went into kindergarten. And then, before she went into kindergarten, and then it became autism. But yeah, that's where it was at that point. And so basically it's just been, as a parent, an advocate for their child, it's been a struggle going through the system, advocating for them, IEP meetings and such, and also getting services, because once they get medical assistance, they have access to community services. And that's a whole nother story altogether too, with getting the community services, and also advocating to get everything that she needs from an educational standpoint. If I had to do it all over again, which is impossible to do it all over again, I probably would have relocated to a different state. And I probably would have gotten her way more intense therapies in terms of communication. But I don't know. I don't know if that would have made things better or worse or about the same. Those are kinds of things that I think in my mind, as a parent. But what can you do? I mean, I did the best that I could do. Fast forward to when she moved to Woods, which I basically had to fight for that. I had to fight for that because we didn't have the resources in our area to get the help that we needed. And my daughter, she likes to elope. She likes to get into things. She has an issue with tags and stuff like that, and flushing stuff down the toilet. And we conquered the eloping. At least I thought we conquered it. And she wasn't, from what I can tell, not doing a whole heck of a lot of that at Woods. She was doing it some, from what I heard. And yeah, she's on medication. And me being in the farm industry and working in CNS, I know I know how a lot of those drugs for, not just for autism, but for mental disorders in general. I can't say a whole heck of a lot, but I just know how they work. And so I had to be careful with that. She has to have her labs and her monitoring to ensure that she's safe at all times. I'm on the second interval right now. So now, fast forward, after graduating from Woods School, it was into her being in residential as an adult. And that has been 2 years of a long, tough ride. We're still battling it. The first place she went to, I'm not going to say the name of the place, but they basically allowed a resident to hit on my daughter. I don't know why they would decide to pair this individual, not talking about this individual. This individual has autism, maybe a different along the spectrum, but still, she has issues with keeping her hands to herself. She's violent. My daughter's not violent. And I know my kid. If my daughter was violent, I would say my daughter is violent. But my daughter's not violent. So, at any rate, and they didn't tell me anything about it. She first was in a car accident with someone else driving, one of them workers driving her somewhere. They told me about that. She was fine. It wasn't a major car accident, but a car accident no less. They told me about that. I held my breath. I dealt with it because my husband says I have a problem with anyone dealing with my daughter. Listen, I don't have a problem with anyone dealing with my daughter. I just feel as though that if you're working in this industry, and this industry is tough, medical, working with mental health, it's not easy. And I understand that. It's not easy. And people that work with residents, that work with clients, they're going to deal with individuals with all sorts of behaviors. They're going to elope. They're going to get into things. They're going to eat things that they shouldn't. They're going to fight. They're going to get violent. They're going to bite. They're going to kick. They're going to scratch other residents and you if you're the employee. And if you're working with someone in mental health and you go in there not understanding that these are all the possibilities of what you're going to deal with, you have to ask yourself, can I deal with that? If you cannot, then you shouldn't go into that field. And then there was another time that they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me about the hitting. Because they knew if I knew about the hitting, when it happened, my daughter would have been out that day. When I found out about it through some meeting that I had with the day program, and her, counselor was there, her support coordinator was there, and that's how I found out about it. So, she was already out of the facility because there was a leak in the house or something, and they wanted to put the residents in a hotel. I said, no, my daughter's not staying in a hotel. She's coming home with me. So when we went to continue taking care of business and we found out about this situation at the day program, that's when I took her out. And there were some other things that happened. Her not being attended for 20 minutes at a time, twice. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Needless to say, she was out of there that day that I found out that the other resident was hitting her. she was out with the quickness. So then it took us about, I guess, several months to find another place. And by the time they were able to get her moved in or were ready to do it, COVID hit. And so we had to wait another 6 months because if they found a place for her to stay, but they had to get clearance and licenses before she can move into them. And before she can move in there, rather. And so, and she's staying with herself. The only one that's there is a worker that cooks her food and makes sure she's safe. She doesn't get herself in any trouble. And this place is different. I'm not going to say better, but different. And I'm amazed with myself and I hung in there with them as long as I have, because I'm basically under the impression no matter where I take her, it's going to be the same stuff. She's eloped on them 3 times. The first time that I know of, the first time that she eloped means when a child or an adult leaves the premises, preferably a person with a mental delay or cognitive delay, leaves their home or residence without telling anybody and without assistance and guidance. That's how I take what elope means. And I told them, hey, she hasn't done it with us in a while. The last time she did it was when she was 7. She ran out of my mother's house. Me and my mother went out shopping. My father was supposed to be watching her. He was watching a football game or something like that. She left the house. And it's not funny because she left her house in her underwear. Went to a neighbor's house. Older woman was there. Wrapped her up in a blanket, called the cops. And the cops picked her up and took her to the police station. When we got to the police station, she's on a computer giggling, having fun. I was at my wits' end. Those early years, from 5 to 14, yeah, I was at my wits' end. So I told the new people about this, her background for eloping. A lot of times she does it because she's bored and she needs things to do. You know, something simple as a car ride, walking around to the mall, getting a pretzel and some lemonade. All right, so finish the second interval. Stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff my daughter needs, you know, to prevent her from getting into stuff like that. If she was in the day program, they wouldn't have to deal with any of this stuff. But because she won't keep a mask on, she did get her first shot. Me and her got our first shot together, COVID shot. She's getting her second shot next week, I believe. And so, yeah, and they still, you know, they don't know where to take her because the day program that we interviewed for, they're not answering back, but they're going through some transition kinds of stuff where they moved into a new building and, you know, they probably filled it to capacity right now. And it's a tough time. I mean, a lot of those day programs, they take the kids out, they go out for walks, they go bowling, they go out to restaurants, they go shopping, they go on a lot of day trips. And a lot of the times, most of the time, they're out all day. They rarely stay inside. That's the kind of thing that my daughter needs. But this is a really weird time right now. It's like no one, even if she had that 2 hours a day, that would be so refreshing to her. But with this COVID and stuff, it's just like a real bummer. So we have the elopement thing, and her thing is she likes to go shopping. She likes to go to Walgreens, Dollar General. She likes to buy bubble bath and dishwashing liquid and toothpaste. Oh God, expensive and high-end stuff. I wonder where she gets that from. Oh my God. You know, the running just gives me a sense of peace. It gives me a chance to really work through my issues and makes me feel a little lighter. Not just weight-wise, well, the weight hasn't really gone anywhere, but definitely emotionally, mentally, I feel less weighed down. But yeah, that call that just came through about 10, 15 minutes ago, that was that place. So I'm gonna have to call them back and find out, because I sent them an email this morning, and they send, we get along with the support coordinator, including myself, a weekly email on progress on how Nandi is doing. I get a progress note a week after the fact, and we were there that weekend, the day that after it happened, the second elopement event, or third, I lost track now. And so no one told us then. That's the other thing, they didn't tell us. And I said, just please be transparent with me. They don't want to be transparent with me. They know and I told them in the email, this is the third time that we know of that she eloped. I said, my daughter, she's not aware of the dangers of walking in the neighborhood, in the street, and she doesn't know how to deal with people, with strangers. My daughter, by looking at her, no one would know that she's special needs, except for the humming and things of that nature. I don't know what this guy is saying. Guy. Okay, man. Let's see what we're doing here. All right. So, at any rate, and I said, if it happens again, I'm sorry, as her legal guardian and as her parent, I'm going to have to remove her from there, because it's nothing personal. Her safety is top priority to me. And even though I'm trying to work, God knows I'm trying to work with them guys. I'm really, really trying to work with this new place. She's been there since September. So October, November, December, January, February, closer to 6 months towards it. Well, yeah, in the next weeks, it will be 6 months. So I'm trying to work with them, because my thing is, if we go somewhere else, it may not be any better. It may be something similar, or everybody's overworked and they're not going to pay attention, and she gets into something where she really hurts herself, or it may be worse, or it could be better. I don't know, but this is like the thing that, and I'm going to have to call this person back and talk to them about, is, making sure that doesn't happen again, because I made them aware. I let them know that this thing could happen. I said she hadn't done it in a while, but it can happen. And so let me get off here now and call and take care of business. And I'll talk to you guys later. I'll probably post this up much later. I will do a post next week because I'm posting less and less. And I have a lot of things that I'm doing right now and I can't really talk about. So, that's the whole point of this, is that now that I've gotten one shot of the vaccine and, I'm about to get the second shot, it's time for me to go back to work. Being on Instagram is fine, but it's time to get back into the real world. For real now, for sure. So you guys stay safe, stay blessed, and I will see you likely on Wednesday, God willing. Take care now. Bye. Hello, good morning. Today is Wednesday, March 17th. I am live on my Facebook business page today. I wish I knew how to transfer this. More ways to go live. They got us these different things masks that you can put on. Let's see here. Guest request. I don't see nothing. I wish I knew how to go live also on Instagram. Well, I'll figure it out later. It's not important. So I'm on week 6 on the Couch to 5K program. It's a program for beginning runners. I'm not so much a beginning runner. I've ran on and off for many years, from the age of 13, 14 to current day 49. And, oh wow, not a lot of sun, but this background is terrible. And so I'm just getting back into it. I originally started the program because I wanted to do this mile-a-day challenge. And I'm not so sure if I will do the mile-a-day challenge. I still may do it. I still may, just to keep on. Or I may do that and come back to Couch the 5K, or do the mile-a-day challenge and do Couch to 10K or something like that. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. Or just, go with the flow. Maybe I'll just do Couch to 5K all over again. With just updates here and there. Today is a nice day. It's not too cold out. I would say today would be week 6, day 2. But they added an optimization day. I guess they want me to transition into the longer running intervals easier. On Monday, the running intervals were 10 minutes. And on day 2, they will be 12 minutes. So I guess they added another 10-minute running interval day to get me to transition better, which throws off my schedule again. Whatever. Maybe I'll try to do day 2 tomorrow and then day 3 on Saturday. or day 2 on Friday and day 3 on Saturday. I don't know. All right, so I'm in the first running interval. So a lot of changes are being made here on all my platforms. I'm definitely gonna go bigger for sure. I may still be on Instagram here and there, but not a whole heck of a lot because work is starting to pick back up again, and I'm not really gonna have the kind of time that I used to have to create content on a daily basis. I consider that a good thing. I'm just glad to be working again and making connections again. I'm taking it real slow today. I didn't rest well last night. I have so many things planned, so much stuff going on. I'm trying to figure it all out, and a lot of studying to do about where to take my main profile, my Instagram profile next. There's got to be a way to add this. I don't know. What's this thing? Uh-oh. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, that just some sort of tool. I may have to go in my settings because I know that there's a way to connect the live from this page to Facebook. Just haven't figured it out. Or maybe it's the main page. I don't know. I'll figure it out. There's so many different things to figure out. If anyone is watching this, I doubt if anyone will, because but now my Facebook page, business page is really, really dead, but not for long. I need some advice on programming, just simple stuff for social media. I don't want a full-blown course. I haven't been in school in so long. I'm reading up online, and believe it or not, I found quite a bit, just not enough to really implement anything or get it up and running. So if anyone can provide some advice. I had one friend that gave me a tip on some things, but it wasn't regarding the coding aspect. It was just basically tips on how not to have my account shut down, which I'm very appreciative of that information. I don't want to make it sound like I'm not appreciative of anything, as I am, as I would have came up with a code and would have tried to get like some crazy number of followers on that first day. It would have been flagged and shut down and put in jail, Instagram jail that is. So I'm glad I can't share that information with me, but I do need some help on coding. I have very little experience. Have some experience with C++, but that was years ago. I don't remember half of that stuff. You know, I'm not gonna cross. They're moving too fast. And the car, the trust that they'll stop on time. This is a hill. I think I'm gonna take it easy on the hill here, because it's pretty steep. So yeah, if anyone can just provide me with some simple, basic instruction that they're comfortable to share, then that would be appreciated. I don't know if I'm willing to sit in a class again. Yeah, this hill's pretty steep. I know by the time I reach top of it, I will be closer to the end of the first interval. Their walking interval is short too, like 3 minutes today. Get my second dose of COVID vax on Monday. I'm trying to find a way to get it. So I got to travel 45 minutes out of my way. That was a complaint. Not happy about that, but it's got to be done. I have a lot to do next week. It's ridiculous. This hill never ends. I'm still on it. I'm still on it. Oh my goodness. I think I'm gonna end with the first interval here and then post the second interval on my main page. See? I was saying I'm at the top of the hill. Okay. I'm going to end here and try posting on my main page. I'll talk to you guys later. Probably put the main page live up on here later on. Okay, later. Bye.